Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a very exciting video, a video a lot of you guys have been asking for, which is what we made in 2020 gross sales. I want to do this video today so that way you can find hope in what is possible in your reselling business. Because bear in mind, we've only been doing this full-time for 1 year. I have been a reseller for the last 3 years. I've been primarily selling on Poshmark. I branched into eBay a year and a half ago. Is that right? That's right, a year and a half ago. And so all of that has been relatively new. And so I'm really proud and excited for the videos now for what we are able to make within our first year in reselling. I want you to be able to find inspiration from this movie. Lord, let me get some more coffee, sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have coffee. I don't know what's going on. I'm like somewhat congested right now too, so maybe my head is in the clouds. I'm gonna make that an excuse. I want you to find inspiration from this video. I don't want you to compare yourself to where we are. As I kind of go into this a little more, I will do a little bit of like helping you understand our family, our dynamics, the things that we do on a regular basis. But I really want to keep this broad enough that you can fit yourself into this story to know what's possible and to know what's in the future for you. And I'm going to do this video a little differently. If you have seen some other resellers that have done this video, standardly it's like, what was the gross sales and what did that mean in net profits? I'm not going to go into that because again, that's really customized to me. If you live in California compared to living in Eastern Oregon, it is a completely different situation versus living in central of the United States or even on the East Coast. And so my bottom line is going to be so entirely different from your bottom line. That's not something that I feel like you should fixate on. I feel like what you should fixate on is how many items did I sell this year? How many items did I list this year? What did that mean on a day-to-day basis? Because then you can say, okay, if it's that, and kind of do your own calculations to see, all right, if I want to hit this number, then this is the stuff that I should be doing on a day-to-day basis. So those are the facts we're going to go into. Now, without further ado, let's do it. Okay, so straight right off the top, because I watched so many of these videos and they went forever, and I was like, just give me the number. I'm so excited. We made in 2020 in our gross sales on both Poshmark and eBay, the number was $60,450.12. I'm so excited about that number. I am so incredibly proud of us. The fact that we were in the middle of a pandemic, the fact that we had a son who was graduating high school last year, who ended up in the middle of the pandemic, and then our sophomore daughter who was trying to learn online schooling, to our first grader that was trying to understand schooling, to dealing with the summer, dealing with quarantine, dealing with not having the same sort of inventory that I had before. I had to break through so many comfort levels that I had in my business. And I'm actually going to do a video separately, so hit that subscribe button because more is coming. I want to talk about what our first year in reselling full-time was like, some of the nuggets that I took away from it, personal development sort of things, because I feel like that goes hand in hand with the numbers. If the mind is having a hard time understanding things and maybe you're not too focused on your mental health, that can totally tank your business. So I'm giving you the straight facts today, but I feel like there's a lot of development that has to occur personally as well, inside, mentally, all the things, the surroundings, everything like that. So I will be doing a video like that soon of the things that I learned in my reselling business. But today, again, like I said, let's stick with the facts. So with that 60,000, oh, and I did also want to state, we did sell some items on ThreadUp. We did also sell some things via PayPal, because that ended up directly through like Instagram. That's the word I'm thinking of. I did also do some local sales. It wasn't Facebook Marketplace, but I did some live videos, and I haven't gotten all those numbers yet. I'm going to be completely honest. So I feel comfortable to say that in those outlets, oh, and then also on Craigslist, those outlets, we probably made another $2,000 to $3,000. So that would be our whole blanket reselling business. I'm going to obviously have to get those numbers for our CPA because we don't need those numbers. But all that to be said, with our sold items that were sold on both Poshmark and eBay, we sold 2,843 items, which made our average sales price about $21. I think it was like $21.46. But this was another thing that I want to change in 2021. In 2020, when I was trying to get rid of some old inventory, I would do auctions on eBay. And so we would have things that would sell anywhere from $1 to $5. And so I feel like that really tanked our average sales price. If I removed probably those items specifically, I feel like we were anywhere between 25 to 30 was our average sales price closer to the end of the year. And I feel like that was pretty more accurate for the overall year. What that meant for average listings though, the beginning of the year totally was different. I was trying to develop the habit of listing. I was trying to develop the habit of, sorry, this is why I have the coffee. I have like a sinus issue going on right now. Anytime our weather changes, my sinuses just flare up and I'm fighting a sinus infection. So I'm sorry, I have to clear my throat periodically. Oh, what I was saying earlier, I was trying to develop habits. That was the beginning of the year. By summertime, habits were made, like we were good. Obviously we would have vacations and different things that might kind of change it up a little bit, or we would do thrifting trips. And so there might be a couple days where I was able to get as much listed. But we typically listed 395 items a month, which if you broke that down on a day-to-day basis in a 31-day month, that was 12 items, 12 or 13 items that we listed in a day. And so that was kind of on par. I really wanted to be hitting about 15, but I would definitely be shorthanded periodically. And so that is a major goal that I have for 2021, is to consistently have 15 items being listed daily. And when I say daily, I mean I'm listing 15 on eBay and I'm listing 15 on Poshmark. So it's technically like 30 items that we're listing in a day. But those are the numbers. Let's break it down again. Our total amount that we grossed in sales was $60,412. We then sold 2,843 items, which meant our average sales price was $21.26, not 46, I think. And then we averaged listing 395 items a month, which meant we were doing 13 items a day. I want to break that down for you so that way you can see what's possible. If you're averaging that 20 to 25 as your average sales price on these different platforms, then you can say, hey, if I just list 13 items a day, I should be able to be seeing some of these similar results. I will say some of the things that attributed to getting a lot of sales, throughout the year, this year though, was taking the time on Poshmark to share the closet. I know. We all have our feelings about that. I have my own feelings about that. I'm gonna be honest. But I do appreciate that I don't have to pay to get my items up to the top. I do appreciate that. Oh, offers. I spent time doing offers. Typically, I love to send offers, and we're talking about Poshmark right now. I love to send offers on the weekend, so like a Saturday or a Sunday, but then I also am very mindful that Thursdays is direct deposit for payday, so that Thursday to Friday time frame is also really good. Then on eBay, I did take time to revise items. I can go into a whole nother video and talking about that, but I didn't do it as much as I probably should have. I feel like eBay is very much strategy. You know, there is an element to it that you can list items and leave it. You still want to be active on the platform, but it is so much nicer in that regard versus what you experience on Poshmark. But I also would promote my listings. I played around with different percentages. I went from 2% to 7% to 5% to 3%, back down to 2%, not promoting at all. It just kind of ebbed and flowed, really. So I really want to do more of that strategy coming this next year. But the other thing I also did that helped generate sales was run sales in my store. And there's a couple different ways that you can do that. If you have any questions, feel free to answer or shoot them down at the bottom at any point that you guys have throughout this video. I will get back to you as fast as I can. I don't always get the notification, so I do apologize about that. But I do love to answer your questions. that would be something I would do, or I would also do the offers to likers. I am so grateful that eBay implemented that feature. It has not been around that long. I feel like even when I first started, they didn't have that feature, which was only a year and a half ago. But I really feel like they got that one from Poshmark. I feel like that, but it's been so beneficial. So I tend to try to send out offers nightly. There's a little section in your eBay store when you're looking at like what items sold and you've got to get out in orders, and then it should say something like offers to likers or something like that. So I feel like those sort of things helped with our sales. And then very much being active on the platforms. These platforms want to see you on their site. They want to see that you're an active seller. They want to see that you're a viable seller. They want to see that you have good ratings, and they will help support you in that way. I feel like there's algorithms, or not called algorithms, who knows, but I think that there are things in place that really do assist with that. And it really does make total sense when we do think about it. To the buyer, to the seller, sometimes it can be frustrating, but they're there for a purpose, and I can honor that and respect that. One of the other things that I do feel like has really helped increase our sales over this last year was establishing a store. Like, when it comes to eBay, tell me if I'm wrong here, you guys, but do you not go on to people's, if you've bought on eBay, that's a prime example, but one that might be so common for most is Amazon. Tell me, do you not go on there to buy something and take a look at the reviews? And take a look at how many reviews are there. Like they might have 5-star on something, but if there's 7 reviews versus like 500 reviews, I'm gonna be more likely to get the one from the 500 reviews. When you start an eBay store, you're here. So the trust in the buyer to the seller is very minimal because there hasn't been a relationship created yet. That being said, it took a year for us to hit 300 reviews. And this is like, I didn't do anything to inquire for reviews. I just would send the items. And that's actually something else that I do want to do in 2021 is create some sort of like thank you card. Because again, we sold almost 3,000 items. I cannot handwrite every single thing. But I want to be able to provide a card that says thank you, thank you for supporting our Wheeler Tribe of 8. And if you have the time to give a review, I would love that, because I do feel like asking people for it truly does result in seeing more reviews. But that being said, 1 year took that long to get 300 reviews. We're now sitting at 550-ish reviews in our store. And I'm seeing more reviews coming in more frequently now than when I started. And so the more that we have an established store, the more trust there's going to be involved in the store, which I feel like I could stay the same even just in my listings and probably see an increase in sales next year. Strictly because I have more of an established store now on eBay. So bear that in mind. Time is something that you just have to start. And some of the things that the results that we can get is just merely because we've been doing it this long. And so I do take that into consideration when I am looking at these figures. So what are some of the goals for 2021? I have so many. I will try to keep this tremendously short though. Maybe I'll kind of go into that when I'm doing more of that personal development video. But short and sweet, we want to double our gross sales this year. What that means on a day-to-day basis, I am to be determined. I'm actually in the process right now of doing a different mentorship group, and I'm just really inquiring about that because I feel like eBay, there is very much strategy involved, and I feel like I'm still a little baby. There's still so much to learn. So I'm in the process of trying to learn a little bit more there. And then in the same breath, when it comes to Poshmark, they are about to go public, you guys. Like, so much is about to change. And I know that there's been mixed reviews and feelings about this hustle fund that they're providing. I think it's called Hustle and Heart, or Heart and Hustle Fund. If you don't know anything about it, I will try to remember to put a link down below. But basically, Poshmark is really starting to show in their advertising that they want to promote and support people who are using their platform for a full-time income. Now, I know, as many of you know, maybe you don't, but it's hard to make a full-time income off of Poshmark. And I think that there needs to be some additional services and strategies or reports that they provide to us to really own that promise that they're saying in their advertising. And so I have faith and belief that we could see growth in our Poshmark store this year because of the ways that they could just enhance some of their different processes. I'm so wide and so vague with obviously me stating all of that because I feel like I may not even know all the different things that could be involved there. But all I know is that is a promise that they have been really promoting and marketing lately. And so I have hope that that means that there are going to be some changes in Poshmark this year to really help make more people make a full-time income off of that. But if you are just a part-time reseller, let me talk to you really quick. I was talking with my husband about these goals, not these goals, how 2020 ended up. So we're going to go back to 2020 for a minute. I'm jumping around, sorry. I was talking with him and was like, how many hours a week did you think I worked? Because in my brain, I was like, I was juggling the kids. I was juggling the house. When he was doing like busy season in the summer, like I was solo parenting it. Like, how many hours did I really put into the business? And I said, would it be possible, because there was ebbs and flows. There were some times where I could like go hard and be at like 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And then there would be other weeks where like December, like we had a lower than I expected sales month in December, but we took 2 weeks off because we had 2 kids that had their birthdays right before Christmas. And then my older brother, and younger, now getting older brother, he had his birthday at the beginning of the month. And so there was just so much involved with family that I took that time off. So I was like, if we averaged it out, would you say that I worked part-time? And he was like, I don't know. I mean, you've got the help of other people. And I'm like, I'm asking you this question because I want to be able to explain this to other resellers. And he said yes. So when I was even working full-time, I remember talking to another reseller and saying, hey, I want to be able to get to this threshold. We want to be making this much by the end of the summer. And she's like, well, first off, what platforms are you on? I said, I'm on Poshmark. And she said, so you're not on eBay? And I said, no. And she's like, okay, you need to cross list, because she asked me how many items I had at the time, and I think it was like 700. She's like, you need to just cross list all that over to eBay. Just at least start getting eyes on, more eyes on your items. I was like, I don't have the time to do that. I just don't. And she said, get a virtual assistant. So I've had a virtual assistant for the last year and a half actually at this point. I've got her now at about 30 hours a week. To keep my sanity. But it's actually really affordable to do that, you guys. And if that's a video that you would be interested in, comment down below. I swear by that. Like the software that I use, the service that I use has definitely been tremendously helpful. And I personally believe that this number that we made this year, if you're a part-time reseller, you can do that too. It may seem like a lot. It may seem so far-fetched, but one of the biggest things that I worked on was how do I streamline my process? How do I streamline steaming items, photographing items, listing items? I will say the first year, it was a win if I got 8 listings up. I mean, it was very inconsistent, but if this is a figure that you're wanting to hit, you can do it. Talk to me. We'll look at your schedule and get that figured out. I believe that you could work with a virtual assistant if you feel like you don't have the time and get enough of the listings that you need up on a regular basis. I think if anything, you might start to have a sales problem. Like, I have too many sales going on. I don't have enough time to package it all in a day. Like, that's when I had moments like that this year. I was like, that is such a good problem to have. That's when you start employing like your kids. You're like, help me out. But I truly believe that you can do it. And even if it was just 50,000 or even if it was just 30,000, you've got these figures now. So you can start looking at that mathematics, like How does this work? But it all comes down to the meat of how long is it taking you to take item out of the thrift bag, get it into your inventory, and have it listed. So let's go back to 2021. What are some of the goals that we have for 2021? I absolutely, like I said, I want to double my income. For reselling, that's about as like goalish as it goes at this point. I'm working with people to try to figure out what does that mean on a monthly and then a daily basis. Some of the other things I'm doing for my sake and sanity, I am hiring a bookkeeper. If you don't know, I actually went to school for accounting and business administration. Like, that is my ebb and flow. Like, I know all of that. I just don't want to do it for my business. I do not want to devote that time in the day. If I can be listing or if I can be on here doing a YouTube video for you guys, I'm gonna do that. I just got done talking with my friend who's a bookkeeper. She's gonna help me like with the sanity of last year. And I'm like, I'm keeping you on a monthly basis because you're going to hold me accountable for me to get this stuff to you, because we need to know these figures moving forward. I can't believe I went as long as I did and not have this as organized as I know I should. So that's going to be another thing that I'm doing this year. Another thing is this, YouTube. Guys, if you've been around here for a while, if you look back at the history of my videos, I have videos from 3 years ago. I love doing videos, and that was just one of the things that I had to come to the conclusion of acknowledging, was that I love being able to add value to you guys. I love being able to be fun and have some enjoyment and be able to teach you and see you succeed. And I want to make a better effort at doing that this year. I have an amazing friend that I met 5 years ago now. Oh my gosh, she's amazing. And we're going to start working on potentially she's going to help me with doing some editing on these videos so I can get more videos up frequently. I also want to start doing a live. So talk with me down there. I've got so much that I want you to like talk with me about within this video, but I would love the idea of doing a live video on a like kind of closer to the beginning of the month. I don't want to set it as a date. That would be good. So let me know if I did a live video, would like a Thursday work? Would a Friday work? Would the evening work? Would morning work? Like, let me know what that would be, because I would love to come on here and keep you guys updated. Like, hey, here's how the month turned out. Here's what I want to do this month. Talk to me. What about your goals? What are some of the things that you do? And we can kind of hold each other accountable that way. And then the other thing is exercise. If you've seen my Instagram, in my Insta stories, you've probably seen that I have been working with a trainer for the last 6 months. So the habit of working out has started to come back, but I neglected it for such a long time because it was like I was working full time, I was hustling on the side, and I had all my kids, like something had to give. But for my mental state, for who I am as a person, like my DNA needs to have exercise. And I mean, dancing is always involved. Dancing is always involved. In fact, I just got the Zumba for the Nintendo Switch because I miss teaching classes. And I love it. It's so much fun. It just is like a complete relief. It makes me so happy. My mental state is so much better, and I sweat a lot. Like, that's a great class, I'm just gonna say. So I really want to continue that moving forward this year, which I know that when I focus on health, when I focus on my mental well-being, it improves my business. It improves my energy level to keep going. It improves my relationships with my children and my husband, specifically when it comes with my kids. Like, they love bike riding with us. They love being active with us. That's just the age that they're at right now. And so I know that if I devote that time and then I have the energy to do those things, oh my gosh, they'll just eat it up. They would absolutely love that. But I will most certainly keep you guys posted on when it comes to our business goals. What does doubling our income or our gross sales look like for 2021? I'm going to be better at documenting this stuff because, again, like I said at the beginning, I want you to find inspiration and hope and not see this as a comparison. I don't want you to feel defeated because maybe your number wasn't as big as mine, and we just have to cheer each other on with our journey. So this is one of those journeyed moments for me where I'm here on to where I'm going, where I want to go. So I'm looking forward to documenting that for you guys and continuing to help you along the way. So again, I asked you a lot of questions in this video. Please, I hope you've been answering them as we've been listening to this video, and we will most certainly stay connected. Until then, talk to you later, guys. Bye.